Hello. I'm just hopping on. I was new to doing this, so I know that I've got to keep talking here because even though I'm getting a little message that says that we're telling people that you're starting a live, I will just keep going right now. So I'm hopping on. It's June 9th today. June 9th is not my birthday, but June 9th is the day that I did try to commit suicide 28 years ago now. In total, I have had 3 suicide attempts in my life. This one was the first one. And so I just like to acknowledge it, take a moment to pause outside of Mental Health Awareness Week, which is in or month, which is in May, and to keep this conversation of mental health going, because it's not just a day in a month or a month in a year or a week in a year that we need to be acknowledging our mental health. It's every single day of the year that we need to be acknowledging mental health. So I have to tell you that when I recovered from that suicide attempt, I came out of this coma. I was definitely in rough shape, let me tell you. I had kidney failure. I was on dialysis. It was so not pretty. And I can tell you, I wasn't happy. I was not happy that everybody was saying, "Oh, wow, you're alive. Wow, it's such a miracle." I was like, seriously? Are you seriously kidding me right now? Like, that's what you're saying to me? Because mental health professionals, or let me put it this way, the ER docs and the nephrologists and all the people weren't trauma informed and certainly weren't mental health informed. But anyways, I wanted to hop on here quickly just to say that the reason I do the work that I do and I made the change that I did was because a few years after that suicide attempt, I was dating a guy, and we would have Sunday dinners at his family's house, and there one of his cousins was there, and his cousin I sat across the table from on many occasions. It turned out that he committed suicide while I was dating my boyfriend, and this was really devastating to me. And I felt a lot of guilt, even though I was, just a girlfriend. Like, I really wasn't, it's not like I was on a first name, or he was not like he was calling me up every day and we were having, heart-to-heart 2-hour discussions, but we certainly would have talks at these Sunday dinners, and I could tell that he was struggling. And I kind of was still not doing like as good as I could be at that time. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I was so stuck in the stigma and the shame of having a mental illness, or being, told that I am always going to be essentially not well, that I couldn't reach my hand out across the table to somebody who I knew was clearly suffering. Now, I'm not saying that I could have changed the trajectory of his life, but I am saying that my shame and my stigma kept me silent in the presence of someone else's suffering. And that's not okay. It's not okay. That's why we need to keep talking. And not only talking, but what are we doing? What are we actually doing here to help people? Medical doctors, okay, great. We're going to give you some antidepressants. Well, I can tell you that might help you sort of get you out of a bind. It might help you not commit suicide. But it doesn't change the underlying physiological imbalances that might lie within you. Because I can tell you, I did that dance for about 15 to 18 years. I took antidepressants on and off. And every time I went off, I ended up right back where I started, which was in the gutter. Suicidal, back in the hospital. Right? I've probably spent, or not probably, I have spent, if you add up all the hospital stays, 3 months here, 2 weeks there, 2 months there, 1 week, etc., it's over a year of my life in the psych ward. a year of my life. And I can tell you that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary situation. So it's a permanent solution to a temporary situation. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling suicidal, or you're feeling really low, or you're really depressed, please look to me as an example that you actually can get better, and it will lift. The cloud is descended upon you at this point in time. You're stuck in that cloud of depression, but believe me, the sun is still shining. And it can shine in your life too. But you got to be willing to do a little bit, right? You got to be willing to do a little bit. And that's the hard part with depression, is it takes away your desire. It takes away your motivation. It takes away your drive. It takes away your concentration. It takes away your life. And yet you're still here. So let's see if we can get you feeling better. And so this is why I'm such an advocate for natural medicine, because naturopathic medicine listen, this is what I usually say. Western medicine kept me alive. Naturopathic medicine has helped me thrive. So I'm going to just leave you with this story about a woman whose son was struggling. When I speak, I usually share this story. So this boy was in his teenage years, and he wasn't doing that great. And the thing is, he was really defiant. He didn't want to go on medication. He didn't want to see a therapist. He didn't want to get out of bed, and he was not functioning. And all his mom could really do was, like, she was at her wit's end, and because she was really concerned about her son, because he was suicidal. And all she could think about to do was to make him a sandwich. Every day she showed up with a sandwich. And this went on for months. And eventually he did turn the corner, and she asked him, what helped? But, I'm just curious, because for her, she felt like, I'm not doing enough. She felt like she was failing her son. And he told her it was the sandwich. This sandwich was a symbol of her love for him. And some days he ate it, some days he didn't eat it, but it didn't matter. She still showed up. And for him, that gave him the will to live. So never doubt that you're helping somebody else. Even if you think what you're doing is small, it could be making the world of a difference to somebody. So as you go about your day, please remember to extend your light of love to somebody else who might be struggling. And all you need to do is say hello and smile at the person walking down the aisle in the grocery store, the person at the gym, the person sitting next to you at the bus, and walking past you in the hallway. Just smile. At least you might help them feel a little bit better. And don't be like me when I go by people on the street and I'll say hello, I'll wave and I'll smile, and then they just blow by me, right? Don't even acknowledge me. Sometimes I'm like, what the heck? And I get a little irritated by that. Don't take it personally. It's all good. Not everybody's ready to receive, right? So anyways, I will stop, and I'll just say that again, this is my birthday, if you will, because this is the day that my life really did begin 28 years ago, when I did not, when I was not successful with that suicide attempt. I had to reconcile why I'm still here on a spiritual level, and I maybe will come back and talk about that in another live. But for now, I will wish you a wonderful day and say, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for following me. Thank you for sharing my work. And may we continue to extend. Oh, I'm getting emotional here. At the end, extend your love into the world. Keep extending your love into the world. Because the world, God only knows needs it. It needs you, and it needs a little bit more light. Off I will go. If I figure out how to turn this off, I say that every time.